Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. Eref Laila Dov. Once again, you're not under the sounds of the voice of your good art, Kahan Tazadak, and this is your housework. And for the record, nothing I'm going to say is actually legal advice. If you need legal advice, seek yourself a competent counsel, and then please be advised. Everything I'm about to give you is strictly for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only. It's not to be taken or misconstrued as legal advice. If you use anything I say and you fall flat on your face, it's your own fault because you did not go and research it and check it out for yourself. I challenge everyone to check out everything that I say for yourself. Don't take anything I say for face value. Don't believe anything I say. Go and research it, check it, and double check it. And then stop me where I'm lying at. Why am I here at this hour? First of all, so the people that's actually on the West Coast and Pacific time could actually get this message, because I'm usually operating on Eastern Standard Time. But once again, I'm here to invite you to come out or come on to another webinar this weekend. It's actually going to take place October the 24th and October the 25th from 12 noon until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This webinar is entitled Operating Secured, operating as a secured party creditor. You could actually click the registration link below this stream, below this video, as usual, and it will take you to it will prompt you to go to a PayPal link to donate for your registration. And so this is actually going to take place again from 12 noon till 6 p.m. Saturday, which is October the 24th, and 12 noon to 6 p.m. Sunday, which is October the 25th. Once again, you could click the registration link below this video and pre-registered for this event. Some of the things that I'm going to cover is very, 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 very essential. You hear a lot of people talk about it, but they don't quite comprehend it. One of the things I'm going to go over, one of the major things, is how to set up a private trust, which is essentially an unincorporated business trust. Going to definitely go over that, how to set up that private trust. Some of you would like to know. You guess at it, but you don't really understand it. So how to establish a private trust, that unincorporated business trust. A private trust is not incorporated, meaning you do not need any kind of governmental approval. This is golden because you could actually, if you have a business, you put your business inside of the trust. The other thing I will cover is how to pay, or should I say, paying taxes is optional. David, are you there? Paying taxes. David, can you hear me? David, can I be heard? David, you fell out of the room. If you're still there, David, come back in the room. So I'm going to show you how to set up a private trust, which is essentially an unincorporated business trust. How paying taxes is really optional for one that's living secured for educational purposes only. How registering a vehicle is optional for one that's living secured. How paying a fine is optional for one who's living secured. How attending court is optional for one who is living secured. And questions like, why create the straw man? This is very, very essential and imperative. I'm going to also cover the Ministry of Justice DUNS number. The Ministry of Justice DUNS number. Also going to cover how to effectively deal with debt. Going to cover what is money. Also going to go over bookkeeping so that you could comprehend what bookkeeping really is. And you can see that they pull the farce on you. Also, we'll go into your interaction with the constables on patrol, how to properly deal with constables on patrol, aka police. And I'm going to cover consent. Why people keep consenting, why people keep getting binded to these contracts is because they consent. I'm also going to cover something that's very, very, very important, which is buying a home. Buying a home. What should you know prior to buying a home? Because most of you go out and you buy a home, and then you get stuck into these adhesion contracts, and this is why they foreclose on you. But if you had foreknowledge on how to handle these contracts when buying a home, they wouldn't be able to do that to you. And finally, once again, I'm going to cover some more right knowledge on the 1099 OID, original issue discount, and much, much more. So you do not want to miss this webinar. Some of you say, tell the doc, this is the third one in a row. I just go where the spirit leads me, and the spirit is moving me to do this. So these are the topics that will be covered and much, much more. If you've been to some of these webinars, you know that I give you extra. I typically give you extra time throughout these webinars. So these are the topics that will be covered, and more topics will be covered. So knowing thus, if you're undergoing any kind of debt situation, if you're drowning in COVID debt, this is idea for you to attend to learn how to stand as a man or as a woman. If you're about to undergo some sort of court proceedings where you feel as though there's a debt, or if someone is saying that you owe something and you have the fiat to pay your mortgage, why not pay it and then original issue discount it and get it back at the end of the year? These type of subject matters will be covered in this webinar. So tell your friends, share this video. All of you that attend the last two webinars, you should be sharing this information and inviting other people to the webinar. This is the way that it should work. You should actually be sharing this information and inviting others to the webinar. So come on Saturday and Sunday and learn more right knowledge. If you just pardon me for a second, I'm going to see what happened with David. You don't want to miss this one. In fact, you shouldn't miss any of them if you really want to get out of bondage, because this right now is just teach you how to get out of bondage. Too many people are complaining about their current situation, but they really don't know how. Looks like you got some background noise there, David. You was in, you fell out. David, your honest opinion. You was actually attending the past two webinars. What exactly do you think of the information that was brought forth through these past two webinars? And why do you think people should actually attend this one, or why not if you're in disagreement? Floor is yours.
Okay. All right. So when you're hungry for something, when you want to know something, you should probably do whatever it takes. Like we watched him one day from 12 noon to 12 a.m. and I want to hear what he had to say. So for me, it wasn't that much of a stretch to listen to him that long, because I'm finding that he's easier to listen to and understand before I put it into operation. But I understand better as I listen to him. One thing he encouraged me to do was when you're trying to learn about this, you should get it from one source. And that way, if you have a problem, then he will know what you're talking about, as opposed to you coming to him and you're like, well, I brought this package from somebody. He don't know what that person told you. So he helped me just listen to him. All right. Concerning these types of things. All right, so that's what I want for you to do. I want you to listen. I want you to keep listening. If you don't understand it at first, fine. Understood it. I mean, who talks like this? Until you find yourself in it. You may have found yourself in it.
So like you, right?
You either got out by the skin of your teeth, but actually.
So like you, as you come in the room, go ahead and give a thumbs up so more people could actually tune into the room. Appreciate that, Dolores Taylor. Go ahead, David. David.
All right. So what you'll do is you'll learn by hearing. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God, or Yahweh. And you'll find that Yahweh uses men. The Bible says that the Yahweh won't do anything on earth without going through men. So when he says that this is Yahweh's work, that's
so
what those types of scriptures mean.
David.
So I
stop for a second. We got a question for someone in the room. The Lodge of Keys Media says, what if we don't have the depth notes but really want to attend? Can you answer that question for him, David? David? What if we
yes,
don't
I can.
have the depth notes
yes,
but really
I can.
want to attend? Go ahead.
I can. One thing that I had to learn, and this is what the Kahan is teaching you. Somebody else got your money. And if you want it, you got to go get it. It's not going to come to you. The things that he is teaching you, you actually have to come to the seminars to learn it. Well, it's the same thing with fiat. Somebody else got it, and you have to go get it. I overcame that debtor's mentality. No, I'm not calling you a debtor like it's bad, especially if you don't know you're a debtor. I didn't know I was a debtor.
But that is a debtor, David. That's a debtor mentality.
Right.
Someone that, something as small as, because a C note is not what it used to be. You see what I'm saying? A C note today
sure isn't.
Is akin to about maybe $20 10 years ago. It's just not what it used to be. Spending a C note 100 today is like spending $20 10 years ago. And if you don't have that, that says a lot about your life. What that tells me about you, Lodge of Keys Media, is that you are felon in life right now. And you, more so than anyone listening right now, need to attend this to alter your life. But you want it handed to you. And as long as someone keeps giving you handouts, this is not a stimulus webinar. This is not a handout. You got to work for it. You have to earn it.
Very good.
If you want a stimulus handout, go and talk to Donald Duck and the other Mickey Mouse gang that's in these political offices, these political wolves. This is not a handout. You have to earn it. You have to get up and get after it. If you don't have it, then find a way to get it. You don't have it? Attend anyways. You work it out. I don't give a damn if you got to go and sell cans. Go and collect some damn cans. First thing you have to get rid of is your damn pride. Because if you're in a position right now, you're not really a man. You're not a man. A man supposed to have the Ruach HaKadosh within him, the spirit of the Creator in him. And if he doesn't have it, he goes out and get it. If a man doesn't have a job, his job becomes making a job for himself. Go ahead, David. David, let's get the thumbs up as you come in the room. Go ahead and give the thumbs up.
Yeah. I like him because I could find the things he says in the Bible. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll feed his family. So if a homeless person knows how to go out and make some money, surely someone as young and strapping as you are, you should be able to go out and make $100. I mean, look at it as I'm $20 a day. I have a job where I get tips, and all I have to do is keep them. I found that my main problem was I would give money away. Family members borrow, homeless people borrow, or I give to homeless people. Once I started keeping it to myself, I actually had a significant amount of money. When I started collecting my change and take it to one of them coin machines, I was actually quite surprised how much money I actually had in change. So you just do it a little bit at a time, and it isn't that difficult if you go out to actually come up with $20 a day. All right, and the second point, if you don't know something, you don't know it. I get that, but something drew you here, and it's my experience that the Ruach HaKodesh doesn't draw anyone anywhere that he doesn't have a plan for them to do something. So you have to understand that the Bible says that Yahweh knows his plans for you, to give you a hope, to give you a future, to prosper you. So if you're not prospering on your own, then you take it up with the Creator. He'll have the Ruach HaKodesh show you how to prosper, and it may not make sense. You're going to have to trust someone other than yourself. I had to stop trusting myself. I had to get rid of all my bad thoughts. Oh, you can't do this, or oh, that won't work. And I just tried it. I tell you how you'll really come up with that money for a seminar is if you get in a pinch and if you try something he says, even from one of his free videos, and it works. And even if it doesn't work, you'll be satisfied in yourself that you stood up for yourself, that you tried to understand, that you didn't run and hide. And that right there is worth $100. At least it was for me. So borrow the money if you have to. It's especially since you're used to people. I find that people who are like me are generous people. I find that people take advantage of my kindness and stuff like that. Just like you, go back and try to get some money from people who owe you, and let the Ruach HaKodesh make them come up with the money. Ask them and keep it moving. See what the Ruach HaKodesh will give you. Make it.
I think Paul Roper just donated. This is his third webinar. Paul Roper just donated as we was on here.
Good. He's hungry. He's hungry. That's
what
I want for you.
Man, and he seems very knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he's a man that's on a mission.
Yes. And
he just donated for the plug earlier today. Marty Moore's not picking up. Go ahead, David. So,
all right, so young ones, if you catch on now, you get young ones. If you catch on now, if you're drawn here now, you get to do it longer. You get to enjoy it longer than say an older person. So I think you're making a good choice. Even if you're looking at your fiat and you're like, hey, I don't have it, that's good. It's a wonderful opportunity for the Ruach to see, well, what do you have in your hand? If you have 10 in your hand, you have to understand the way the kingdom works is you receive by giving. So it could be giving effort. It could be giving requests for help. However it is, just give room for the Ruach Hadosh to come up with, even if he come with it as minute. It's for you. It's a test for you. Everything that the Khan is giving us is to help us. And if since you're already a generous person, that's all you're going to do. You're going to give it. So just keep listening. Faith comes by hearing, and that's how I got my understanding with the Kahan. It's just by faith, because he doesn't. He lives too far from me. He doesn't come over my house. So
Ruben
by faith,
Rojas.
I listen to him, and by faith,
Ruben, hold on, David. Ruben Rojas, you're saying you missed the last webinar. Well, now here's your opportunity to attend this one. See, people always have, these reasons, these excuses, but excuses are only convenient for those that make them up. If you are a man or if you're a woman and you don't have, this webinar is $100 for 2 days. What much more knowledge is given than what you're donating. Just one remedy that you will be taught, it's worth 10 times as much as that. And if you go to a briefcase, you will realize that. But if you are a man or a woman and you don't have the fiat to attend this, that a light should go off. Something should click and tell you you're not where you're supposed to be in life. You're not where you're supposed to be, and you're currently failing. And that's going to be exceedingly difficult to admit to yourself. But if you're in a place like that, you are a failure as of right now. It doesn't define you. It doesn't have to define you. But unless you change that, you're going to continue to be that way. It's not going to go away on its own. Success is not going to come knocking on your door and say, hey, I'm here now. My name is Success. Ryan Ginsburg. Success is here. That's not how success works. You have to get up and go after it. And sometimes you got to tear the damn door down to earn success. You got to go after it. Success is not going to come to you. Success is nothing but the repetition of hard work. It's consistency. It's going the extra mile. It's doing the things that you don't want to do. It's producing it when you say you don't have it. And until you could do that, you're just going to be average. And average is failure. What about a star? You ever hear the story of the man that almost made it? Me either. Because no one wants to hear that story. They want to hear the story about the person that came from the Bible, from the bottom, and they had to go through a struggle, and they came up and they made it. You know why? Because there's so many other lives like that. You don't want to hear about someone who had it handed to him on a silver platter. You don't want to hear that story. You want to hear the story of struggle because you can relate to that. The average person can relate to that. Because the average person was not born with that silver spoon in their mouth. Were they, David?
Nope, no spoons in my house where I grew up.
So that's what it is, man. So again, some of the things, and I'm going to tell you something, man. Those that attended and learned this stuff, you'll be glad you did. Just talk to some of the people that attend the past too. In fact, they should be sharing this information and inviting others in. Again, some of the things that I'm going to cover is how to construct a private trust, which is an unincorporated business trust, which means your trust does not need to be incorporated. It needs no type of governmental approval. Paying taxes is optional. Registering a vehicle is optional if you're living secured. Attending court is optional if you're living secure. Why create the store, man? I will cover that. The Ministry of Justice DUNS number. Dealing with debt. Let me let Marty Moore up in here. dealing with debt. I'm going to cover what is money. I'm going to actually go over bookkeeping so that all of you that are undergoing foreclosures, you're going to see that the bank hasn't loaned you a damn thing. When you created the promissory note, you also created the money, and the bank monetized your promissory note without your knowledge. I'm going to show you how you should deal with the police. You shouldn't be on the side of the highway arguing with them like many of the Moors. For what? For publicity? No, there's an effective way to deal with them. I'm going to cover postal demands. I'm going to cover consent because every one of us that undergo some sort of problem is because we consent. The system could do nothing to us if we didn't consent. But how do we stop consenting? Most of us are unaware that we're consenting to certain contracts when we do so. And then it comes back to haunt us. I'm also going to cover the principles and tactics that you should apply when you're buying a home so they won't come later and foreclose on you. That alone should be enough for you to attend. Because most of you that get foreclosed on, if you had known how to handle that contract from the beginning, you wouldn't be undergoing a foreclosure now and crying the blues. Facts, big facts. And finally, I'm going to cover the 1099 OID original issue. Any kind of debt that you may have, even if you have a mortgage, why not pay it and claim it at the end of the year? Why not, Marty Moore? So, Marty Moore,
absolutely.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked David. You attend both of these last webinars. Do you think the information provided was effective? Or do you think it was a waste of your time? And if so, why? If not, why not?
Well, Khan, I know it was effective, and anybody with half a brain would know that it is if they'd stop, getting caught up in their emotions. Of course it is. It's the most important thing you can do. It'll give you everything. You just got to come over here and believe in something. It'll do everything for you. The webinar was full of information. Everything that we did was touching on high points, and people were just overwhelmed with it. You can't get information like that anywhere. We had a good time learning, and it was powerful.
Yeah.
It works every time for us. I mean, people, if they want a change in their life, if you really want change, this is going to give you everything. It's not part of a remedy. When you walk around and you sleepwalking, get out of that. I'm gonna tell you, I got so much information. I mean, you can't put a value on it. It's priceless, man. It was a wonderful seminar, both days. You did. Well, the people that didn't attend last time, even if you attend, it is always something in the next webinar. I don't care if you got something out of first day. It's like being on a roller coaster of information. You know what? Everything we did was powerful. Not one person could say it wasn't. David put it down big, man. He put it down big, Khan, and everybody did, but I'm gonna tell you, I got remedy. I was so happy, man. I went in feeling, I was feeling good about it, but when I left the webinar, I felt like a little kid on Fat Boy Day, you know, on Jolly Red Suit Day. I got so much, man. If you listen, and some people need to quit. Let the con get it out. Get it. He's gonna get to it. You know, I used to do it myself. You know, I would get so excited because it's exciting like a roller coaster of stuff, you know, like an adventure of information. But to get excited and you just want to get ask questions, but I understand they want to do that. But I'm going to tell you, maybe I'm talking too much, but I was excited, man. Everything we did was important. And I felt so good. That night, I felt the best I had felt in a long time.
Yeah, man. I mean, those are listen, study this stuff and research it. It really truly will change your life. People are not just making this up. You're seeing if you scan over this channel, you see testimony after testimony of people that's telling you, "Hey, man, this really changed my life." But debtors just don't want to hear it. D. Brown Bay, come in the room. Why do you think it was very powerful? Come on in the room, D. Brown Bay. I'm gonna put the link in the room. Tell them why you think it was very powerful. And this one will, in each webinar, I teach something different. I don't teach the same thing. I teach something different each webinar because there's so much knowledge out there. Deep on Bray, I appreciate your comment, but if you could comment and just tell them why you think that past webinar was very powerful. Click on the link, come on in the room. And to those of you that's contemplating attending, you should attend. Don't contemplate. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to the doubters. And even more, stop listening to your self-negation. Your greatest foe is yourself. Your greatest enemy is your inner thought. That keeps getting in your way. It keeps talking you out of success. It keeps talking you out of the things that you should do. Your greatest barrier is the you within you. So it's you versus you. And you're going to have to overcome that other you, the weaker you, the you that wants to quit, the you that wants to not face your fears, the you that doesn't want to go over the wall, the you that want to stay mediocre because you're comfortable right now. That's going to lead to failure because later there's a pain that you will experience that's going to last with you forever. And that's the pain of, damn, I could have done it. I should have done it. Then it's going to be too late because you're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. So, Octavian, was you on that last webinar or the one previous, brother? Anyone besides David and Marty that was on the webinar, just come in the room and tell the people why they should attend and what you took away from the webinar. And of course, this one's going to be totally different. It's going to be more information, the things that I named off. And again, that's going to be from Saturday, October the 24th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. to Sunday, October the 25th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Okay. Okay. Appreciate that, D. Brown Bay. Anything else, David, Marty, before I shut this down? I encourage everyone again, I'm going to reiterate, you want to register now, go ahead and get your registration and now stop making excuses. Do it now because you'll probably talk yourselves out of it later. Do it now. Stop listening to that negative self, that negative thought that keeps hindering you, that keeps blocking you. You keep getting in your own way. It's time to change. It's time to stop doing the same old thing, making the same old excuses, and getting the same old results. Do something different. Anything else, Marty Moore? Elder Marty.
Just want to say thanks again for a wonderful seminar, and I look forward to being at the seminar. And that's going to be this weekend, Khan.
This weekend. This time I'm gonna go over what people should do when they're buying a home. Gonna cover some more on the 1099 OID. Gonna cover dealing with the constables on patrol. Gonna show people that going to court is really optional. Paying fines is really optional because after all, there's no money, so you're really not paying anything. Can we not settle and close the matter if we're a creditor? This is about living secured. This is teaching you how to live secured. I'm going to show you how to set up a private trust, which is an unincorporated business trust that has nothing to do with the system. In a private trust, you put all of your assets in there. They're protected. They can't come after you. They can't put a lien on it. That alone, if you have any kind of sense of reasoning, should make you want to attend. So share this video, like the video, but most of all, man, get your minds right, man. I really don't have to do this. I'm really trying to help. I'm really trying to get back to people. I'm trying to get back and help people change their lives. But a lot of you don't see it. And a lot of people are just never satisfied. You can never give them enough. They always want more. They just want to take, never get back. I'm trying to get back. All praises to the Most High. I'm Dolores Taylor. That your credit is 847. All praises. All praises to the Most High.
Praise to the Most
And
High.
I could, most people that's on the call could definitely help you with that. Dat Neela Vaughn Dizzle. I'm not, most of your messages, I'm not sure what your point is. Like all of these people that you're putting in the room, that has nothing to do with this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and put you in a timeout, man. If you don't get your mind right, I'm going to block you. Don't come around over here promoting someone else. I hate when they do that. See, that's a debtor. That's a debtor. You come over here trying to promote other channels, man.
Be there or be square.
Right. But don't come with no madness, man. And don't come challenging, man. Don't come with that debating spirit. I'm not here to debate. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to debate. And if you keep some of the questions down, the question is going to be answered. I tell them that all of the time, and they still want to question and they hinder everyone else. And don't be selfish. Some people that come to these webinars, they're selfish. They want to take all of the attention and give no one else the opportunity to ask questions. Is that not correct, David? Did we not see that for the past 2 webinars? There was a couple of people that got pretty selfish.
We do see that.
And even when I tell them, it's like it's not registered.
In the beginning, it was not. In the beginning, when you started, it wasn't like that. Everybody's mouth was hanging open, so they weren't really asking questions. But this new group, their mouths are really busy. Just
Hey,
listen.
Shalom, what's going on, Karatazar? What's going on, brother? Karatazar, man. Hey, Shalom, Nico. Where you been? You've been missing in action. Karatazar. Honestly, man, your honest opinion, what do you think of these past 2 webinars? Your honest opinion, man. You know, I want people to give it up honestly, man. Do you think it was effective? Is it resourceful? Something people can apply to their life if they, really study this and pin down? Or is it just a waste of time? Now here's Brian Austin. Brian Austin, come on in the room and tell them why it was spot on. So we got a lot of people on this call right now that attend the webinar, and they can speak for themselves. Here's the link. Brian Austin, come in the room and tell them why you think it was spot on. Come on in, Brian Austin. Speak for a minute. Let's hear it from another perspective. Let's get it from another party.
Get high on this knowledge. Get high on this knowledge. This is real. You want to sit back and get high, you will be high on a real high knowledge. A high that you'll never, ever come down off of. You dig?
Yeah, man. So I would suggest that you attend this one again. For the people that just came in, each webinar I teach something different. None of them is actually redundant. This webinar, I'm going to actually be going over how to establish a private trust, which is actually an unincorporated business trust. You could put your assets in that trust, and your assets are protected. I'll show you how paying taxes is optional according to the law. Registering a vehicle is optional if you're living secured. Paying a fine is optional if you're living secured. Why not set it off, settle and close the matter? Attending court is optional if you're living secured. I'll also cover why create the straw man. I'll cover the Ministry of Justice, the DUNS number. I'll cover dealing with debt. I'll cover what is money. I'll cover bookkeeping so you can understand and understand exactly how the foreclosure process works and why they're not loaning you anything. The banks never loaned you jack, diddly squat. I'll cover postal demands. I'll cover consent because most of you get in trouble because you consent. And I will show you that everything that happens to you is because you consent. It's because you consent. I'll cover dealing with the constables on patrol, right? I'll also cover the measures that you should take when you're buying a house so you don't end up in a foreclosure in the first place. Because if most of you knew how to properly handle a contract and purchase a house, you would never end up in the foreclosure in the first place. And finally, I'll cover more on the 1099 OID for those of you that's paying a mortgage. Why not just go ahead and pay it if you had the fiat and then get it back at the end of the year with the original issue discount? Why not do it? Why not learn this right knowledge? Hey, Shalom, Karatazar. What's going on? Aquaj?
Hey, Shalom. Can I be heard?
Come on.
Yeah, man. Wow. Both those webinars was extensive information, man. Like type of information that you're not gonna learn in school, you're not gonna learn in college, you're not gonna learn any place else, man. And especially when like myself, when I buy the books and I read the books and then I go to the webinar, my questions that I had from reading the books have been answered in the webinar. So it's like everything's just coupled together, man, and it's just so much knowledge. It's there's really no ceilings when it comes to this, and
Come on.
I'm just grateful to have you, brother. I'm grateful to have this information. The Most High is working through you, man, and the people they need to pay attention, and the Most High, when you're in the webinar, people, the Most High gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so just listen. And most of the times, like the brother's saying, whatever questions you have, if you pay attention, your question will be answered. You know what I'm saying? Throughout that time. But especially in these times, the typical, hoping for the government to save you and working these jobs is not gonna help you, man. You gotta find another alternative method to get out of this corporate slavery, and it's Tawab, man, and Most High willing, I will be attending again,
Paul
So that's what I can
going
say.
hard, man. Paul registered already, man. I saw his registration come through already, man. I seen Paul. Yeah, your book's gonna go out tomorrow, Paul. I just saw it when I checked my emails a little before I started this live, but it should go out tomorrow, most high willing.
I'm excited, Doc. I'm excited. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, come on. What's going on, Paul?
Not much. I'm looking forward to another webinar. I've been at the other two. If anyone's listening to this, it's definitely worth your while. If you're questioning, is this something that's worth my time? I've been researching this stuff for years, learning a little bit here, learning a little bit there. I've never heard it spoken as clean and clear as Contas' Doc does it. So the webinars are worth well more than what he's charging, guys. And it's going to change the way that you think. So if you got the debtor mindset that a lot of people have, it's going to give you a different way to think about stuff, how to approach things, the way that, we're deceived. And this stuff is not something that you're going to learn in school. You're not going to learn in college. Attorneys don't know this stuff. And, this is just going to make you a better person and all. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at any of these webinars that you're hosting. And I just ordered the book, The Plug. So I'm looking forward to receiving that. And then, becoming a secured party creditor. So I recommend everybody, if you're interested in this stuff, don't wait. So.
All right. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you, man.
My pleasure. Thank you for hosting this.
All right. Brian, what you got? I see you at work.
Yeah.
What's going on, Brian?
What's going on? I just want to say thank you. Back in February, my brother sent me one of your videos, and it was the most profounding video I ever seen. I was just looking at you and I'm thinking to myself, how did this brother understand so much? How is it possible someone could and I'm listening to the accent, I'm like, yo, you sound like he's from Brooklyn. And I'm thinking to myself, how is this possible? But I know it's something that I had to
what
learn.
You were saying, you probably was thinking, how does a nigga from the hood understand that? That's people to see now, man.
Nah, you're right. Right, because I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm from Crown Heights. So I'm listening to the voice. I'm like, yo, how does dude know so much, man?
Yeah, that's right up the street too, man. That's right up the street. I'm from East Rockford.
No Eastern Parkway over there. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, this dude sounds like he's from some place that I grew up at. And he sounds like this is something that I need to know. I got to listen. So I listened to the video probably like at least, I ain't going to lie, I probably listened to it like 10 times. And then after I called my brother and I just started telling him all this stuff. And I don't think he really understood it. So at that point, I think that like kind of sparked my fire. And then this OG I had met, he had put a bug in my ear. And I think those two things just clicked. But funny thing is that before I left my business and I came here tonight, I got these two letters and I opened the letter. I'm like, what the hell is this letter? So I'm going to open this damn thing. And it said, well, these accounts has been closed. So basically, from since then, I've just been using the process and everything you've been instructing just to get rid of all of these damn debts. Just show them that, hey, you guys don't have a true bill. You guys don't have, nothing that is valid. You're making a claim on an entity that I don't even recognize. And so far it's been working for me. So I just want to say thank you very much. And I've been in the last two webinars and I tell the whole world, don't even hesitate. It's chump change compared to what you're going to learn. You're going to get rid of so much, expenses that you thought you had, that you thought was your problem, but it's not your problem. It's all fictitious. And as soon as you figure that out, your life is going to be better, but you're actually giving us all the remedies. And it's a lot. People don't realize it. There's a lot of things that go over people's head that you probably said, not that you said, that it'll probably go right over their head. But
right.
It's a lot of information. If they could have possibly even just, but thank you very much.
No doubt,
I'm trying my best not to miss any, because even though I'll be busy still, but I got my phone with my mic with me and I'm constantly listening, writing things down as much as possible.
Thank you. Appreciate that, brother. Mikael, come in for a minute and talk that talk, man, before we close it down. Come on in, Mikael. So David, Marty Ma. Money Man, so you think you're gonna take that leap of faith, step out on faith, and because your house is not in foreclosure, but you should have
Uh,
enough knowledge, man, to start dealing with that, man. Take control of that property.
all praises to the Most High and to you, Kahan.
Yeah, man. Anyone else before we shut this down, man? So again, it's gonna take place this weekend again, October the 24th and October the 25th, same times from 12 noon to 6 p.m. both days. You can click below this video and register for the webinar now. Choice is yours. Mikael, you got anything you want to say before you shut it down? Yeah, Marty Mar, you got anything else? David, got anything else?
I'll be
Don't
there.
miss the
and,
seminar.
I'll be there, and if you and this is all spiritual, and once you realize what this all has to do with everything in your life, it will make a better person of you. And all you got to do is give yourself a chance. Be there, and we're gonna have such an interesting day. You'll see. But that's all I got.
Yeah, we're gonna go deep into the store, man, this time. What you got, Mikael?
Shalom, 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 everybody. Shalom, family. Can everybody
Shalom.
hear me? Good.
Come.
Generally, I like to stay in the chat and moderate because I know a lot of people are afraid to speak on a public platform such as this. But everything that you have heard is not a selling point. It's not effective marketing or rhetoric. It is real. Those of you who are struggling, something brought you to this channel so that you could learn something and you're benefiting. Imagine what would happen if you put some of your energy, which has been converted into fiat currency, into such an event. Imagine what you don't know, what's not on you. Just like you order Netflix or you go to the movies or you buy something that you like, take some of that energy that you put on the slave plantation into something that will free your mind. And where your mind goes, that's where your body goes. So imagine what you were going to do when you found out how much you didn't know, because what you thought you saw or what you thought you knew, what you thought was enough, was actually just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
So this is what you're going to gain. The books are there as a static reminder of why you need to keep searching. Keep searching for the truth. You'll hear it in the webinar, you'll learn it, but the books are what will help you retain it. And I encourage all that listen to this to obtain as much of the resources as possible, because all you are doing is like you go out, you buy ammunition. One round isn't enough. One round is not enough. No man loads a weapon and expects that just one round is enough. Not even a sniper. That's why he has a cartridge. So at this point, think about your freedom and the fight for it that way.
Okay.
You don't carry a knife to a gunfight. And even if you throw that knife, you got to go get it back. So at this point, it's without excess and talking and extra this or that. You know what you need to do. Those of you who think you're serious about your lives and being independent, you know what you need to do. Don't talk about it. Be about it. If you are a man and you want to have more in your life, this should be automatic. It should be a no-brainer.
Okay. Facts. Big facts. So with that, man, yeah, we could go ahead and bring this to a close, man. And most high willing, we'll see these people this weekend. I'm gonna cover some different topics, man. And one of the most important ones is how to establish that private trust. How to establish a private, unincorporated business trust to put your assets in to protect them. A lot of people may have it, but they don't know how to apply it, and they don't know how to use it. And they really don't know how to use their trustees. So you will learn this weekend if you pay attention. Most High willing. So with that, I appreciate that, good brother, Mikael. We're going to say shalom, man. And like this video, share it. Everyone have a safe night.
Wow.
Shalom.